Hello and welcome to the MENFINITI Podcast. I'm your host, DHIRAJ Singh, here to explore creativity in all its fascinating forms. In today's episode, we are looking at the big question: can AI make us more creative, or will it overshadow human ingenuity? But first, let's zoom out and take a look at history. Every major technological leap, from the printing press to the internet, was initially met with fear and skepticism. And yet, each of these innovations sparked creativity in ways no one could have predicted. Let us rewind to the 15th century, when Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press. Many people were terrified. Religious leaders feared it would spread heresy, and scribes worried about losing their jobs. Fast forward a few centuries, and we know that the printing press didn't destroy creativity. It, in fact, encouraged it by making it available to everyone. It democratized creativity. Suddenly, ideas were confined not just to the elite, they spread across people, rich and poor, across cultures and continents. The same story played out with radio and television. People once thought radio would stop people from learning about important things, and that TV could turn us into passive zombies. Instead, they became platforms for storytelling and innovation and education. Remember Orson Welles' War of the Worlds broadcast? It redefined what radio could do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
Suddenly the music stops. We're now hearing a news bulletin reporting on a mysterious object that's landed in the States.
It is reported that at 8:50 p.m. a huge flaming object, believed to be a meteorite, fell on a farm in the neighborhood of Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
Now they're listening a little more closely. If these objects are not meteors, then what are they? On October 30th, 1938, Orson Welles' adaptation of The War of the Worlds was about to broadcast on CBS at 8 p.m. Some people tuning in at the very beginning, excited to listen to a brand new piece of media written and performed live by Orson Welles.
Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Mercury Theatre and star of these broadcasts, Orson Welles.
When radio gained popularity, skeptics feared it would erode cultural traditions and distract young people. But far from destroying creativity, radio amplified it, giving artists like the Beatles a platform to reach millions. Their performances on shows like the BBC's Pop Go, the Beatles, brought their innovative music to homes worldwide, reshaping popular culture. What was once seen as a potential cultural disruptor became the launchpad for one of the greatest creative revolutions in music history. Now, let's bring it back to AI. Just like those past technologies, AI is stirring up both excitement and fear. Critics argue that it could make creativity formulaic, but history tells us a different story. Tools do not replace creativity, they amplify it. For instance, AI is helping architects visualize buildings before they're built, allowing for more daring designs. One example of an architect leveraging AI is Zaha Hadid Architects, known for their futuristic and fluid designs. They use AI to optimize structural integrity and create eco-friendly designs. For example, their AI-driven algorithms analyze materials, climatic conditions, and energy consumption to produce more sustainable buildings. AI also helps them simulate complex geometrics and test feasibility, enabling the creation of iconic structures like the Morpheus Hotel in Macau. This approach demonstrates that AI enhances creativity while solving real-world challenges in architecture. Musicians are also increasingly using AI to push creative boundaries. One prominent example is the collaboration between artist Holly Herndon and her AI-powered digital twin, Spawn. Now, Spawn uses machine learning to mimic and reinterpret Herndon's voice, creating unique harmonies and composition. Herndon's 2019 album, Proto, was developed through this collaboration. It showcases how AI can act as a co-creator in music.
She is a kind of digital version of myself. Polyplus is dreamed up in the latent space of machine learning algorithms and is a collective hallucination of who I am through the filter of the internet.
This integration exemplifies how AI can innovate while retaining human artistry and blending technology with emotion to craft entirely new soundscapes. Even filmmakers are experimenting with AI to edit scenes and to create special effects more efficiently. One example is Oscar Sharp, who, in collaboration with technologist Ross Goodwin, created a short film titled Sunspring in 2016. Now, Sunspring's script was entirely written by an AI bot called Benjamin. The AI was trained in hundreds of screenplays, allowing it to generate a unique, albeit surreal script. The film explored the intersection of human creativity and machine intelligence, and it demonstrated how AI can act as a co-writer, sparking new ideas and unconventional storytelling techniques.
Ooh. What do you mean?
Well, I don't know anything about any of this, so...
Then what?
There's no answer.
We're going to see the money.
All right, you can't tell me that.
Yeah, I was coming to that thing, because you're so pretty.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Think about this. In the same way the printing press freed writers from manual copying, AI can free creators from repetitive tasks, leaving more room for innovation. But here's the catch. Tools like the printing press, radio, and now AI are just that. Tools. They don't create meaning. Humans do. Shakespeare didn't need a typewriter to craft Hamlet, and Steve Jobs didn't need advanced AI to dream up the iPhone. What made their work iconic was their ability to use the tools at hand to express a unique vision. AI might suggest a melody or a line or a code, but it cannot replicate the human experience. And that's where we come in, with our quirks, emotions, and instincts. Let's look at some inspiring examples of AI in action. Number one is filmmaking. Sean Baker, who we've talked about in the earlier episode number 3, shot his critically acclaimed film Tangerine using an iPhone. Now, filmmakers are using AI to storyboard, edit, and even script scenes. Number 2, art. AI-generated works like Edmund de Bellamy have sold for hundreds and thousands of dollars, but they started out as collaborations with human artists. Number 3 is fashion. Designers are now using AI to predict trends and create sustainable clothing lines, pushing the boundary of what's possible. So the question that arises is, how do we embrace AI while staying true to our own unique creative voice? Here are my 3 tips. Number 1, think of AI as a partner, a collaborator, and not as a competitor. Use it to brainstorm or refine ideas, but keep the final say. Number 2, stay curious and adaptable. The most creative minds, from Da Vinci to Steve Jobs, were lifelong learners. Stay open to new tools and methods. Number 3, focus on your story. AI can mimic patterns, but it cannot replicate your own human perspective. At the end of the day, AI isn't here to replace us. It's here to challenge us, to push us to think differently and more deeply about what it means to create. And if history is any guide, we'll come out of this chapter more creative than ever. Thank you for joining me at the MENFINITI Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and let me know how you see AI shaping your creative future. Drop in a line or a comment or a message, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and stay limitless with the MENFINITI Podcast.